Fire emergency.
FirstNet of Washington State is a broadband public safety network.
Wherever you go and whatever you're doing in an emergency, you're going to have access to that system and you're going to have interoperability with those around you.
It's a wireless network that will allow responders to use mobile devices, to use data from smartphones, tablets, computers in their vehicles to respond to incidents.
FirstNet would give us the ability to all be talking to one another through a broadband platform that would be established to be able to push information out simultaneously, equally, to all of the first responders.
The more access to communication sharing, the better it is. Whether that's data that we're sharing, or if it's just cell phone conversations, or if it's video feeds that we're able to share amongst each other, all of those things can be transmitted through a system like FirstNet.
My entire life, I have been in the 911 industry. And one of the things that happens is that nobody ever works together.
We have the opportunity to design this from the ground up. And I see it as a public-private partnership with stakeholders involved in the design so that we can build something that is going to be reliable, it's going to be robust, and it's going to be secure.
It's up to us as leaders to come together and have a conversation about what are our needs as first responders in enhancing our capabilities to share information and to communicate with one another.
I want responders to be able to communicate wherever they are, whenever they need to, in real time.
If we are doing things that have to do with technology and said that every agency, every public safety agency in the state of Washington is going to get the same level of service, then they would have something.
We should be able to have broadband coverage wirelessly throughout our county, which we currently don't have.
With FirstNet, we would be able to get communications out, whether it be that we need dump trucks and loaders, or whether we need to evacuate people from a storm, a tsunami, or an earthquake, whatever the emergency would be, we can get that message to the state a lot quicker than the way it is now.
In our district, we have a large geography. One part of the district, one cellular provider works best and the other one doesn't. We have to have 2 air cards in every device so that we can work on 2 different systems, so it doubles the costs of every device that we implement. Our ability to communicate and use our devices starts to fail because we're relying on those public systems rather than a dedicated private system only for first responders.
So you go up the coast here, and there's tribes that have the equivalent of a DSL line, and some of those DSL lines, they don't push DSL speeds.
I don't want responders to have to go through these empty holes of, I guess you'd call them communications valleys. There's hills and valleys. You get on the hill, you can talk and everybody can hear you. You get in the valley, you're out there all by yourself. I don't want them out there by themselves.
Historically, we've shown that communications is one of the failings of every major disaster or incident that we've seen in the fire service.
After an event, when we do an after-action examination of the response, communications is always at the top of the list for improvement.
Our efforts need to be put into improving communications wherever we can, and that's exactly what this does. And FirstNet will improve public safety, and it will improve the safety of first responders.
To have enough information to know who, what, where, how, and why you're responding to a given situation is extremely important to a first responder, and giving them enough information to make them aware of all those things and also be safe in their responding. It doesn't get any more important than that.
The disasters we face today, the earthquakes, the bridge collapses, the potential for terrorism, even a daily incident requires lots of responders from lots of different jurisdictions.
It's not just a one agency problem, it's not a one jurisdiction problem. They don't follow boundaries of jurisdictions, so we need to have that interoperability between all of the players that have to participate.
We need to work with the state. We need to figure out a way, and we need to say, hey, what do you need us to do? What do you want from us? How can we help?
Law enforcement leaders around the country really went to bat to make this happen. We lobbied Congress in identifying our needs and getting them to appreciate, understand, and ultimately support to the point of passing the act. Now they're asking us to help them build the system that we dream about.
We need that first-hand experience on the street to get involved, to tell us how this network should be built, what devices should be used, what applications are required on that device to improve and provide maximum protection for the public.
I know that there are communications issues, and I know that we can make improvements, and I see this as one step in that process.